This is the install video for the low profile and mid profile base plates to work with our mag wells. The stock base plate is designed to the size and shape of the frame, but our mag wells are designed to funnel the mags into the frame, so they need a lower profile because that size prevents it from allowing it to go in properly. In order to get as seamless as possible transition for your mag changes, it does need that nice profile in order to do that. So our plates work with both the stock plastic plate with that square notch and the steel plate with the round hole. The older compact models used to all had the steel plate, but now it looks like the newer ones have this plastic plate. The FDE models usually have the steel plate, I believe still, but the black models I think usually have the plastic plates. But our plates work with both. In order to remove the stock plate, you need some type of push pin. Usually I use the pin that comes out of the back strap or a small screwdriver. And as you saw, all I did was push that little square tab in just a little bit so that I could push the base plate forward. The plate is under spring tension, so be careful. Like I said, this locking plate goes right in there and it locks in nicely. It does have this tab in the front that will stick up over the mag to be in proper position, so once it's aligned properly, it'll kind of stick up like that a little bit into the plate. But in order to get the plate on, we have to have it below the surface a little bit. So push it down below the surface, line up your new base plate with the rails, and then slide it back to that position, and then you'll need to take your tool and push it in a little bit. Now it's in, but the plate is still misaligned a little bit, so you'll want to push it down a little bit. That one went in very nicely, but they don't always go in that nicely, so we'll try it a few different times. That one locked in again. Still locked in. This is the cool. So that one's not locked in. If you do have trouble, sometimes you need to kind of push back a little bit and then pull it forward. Sometimes you need to just push forward a little bit, depending on how the plate actually is in there. Depends on how best it needs to lock in. And do this a few more times because usually it is not this easy. Push that down a little bit. And there it goes. Okay. So I actually worked on this one earlier and I was trying a little bit more intense operation and it was not going in well at all. So that way seems like that worked the best out of everything I've tried in the last half hour, but that's not usually how easy it goes in. So if you do have extra trouble in that, remember that you can push it down and then try to work that forward like that. Sometimes that works really well. I've also had it to where I'm just kind of pushing the front in a little bit and then it settles in. But the front's not working this time. It looks like the back there is what is getting the most progress this time. So that is the compact mag. This is the mid-pro. It sticks out just a little bit past the mag well in order to get a good plate in order to push it in. This would be the mid-pro on the full size. Same thing, and the notches are nicely cut out. So if you did have to extract a mag manual, you'd be able to. Alright, this is the steel plate. Same thing. Push that little plate in and then slide this forward. It's also under spring tension, and the steel plate has that little hook that hooks onto the spring like that. So leave it on there. This is our low profile plate. Same thing, it is cut out in there to work for both the steel and plastic plates. And the steel plate sits into that nicely, so where it's nice and snug. Same thing, you want to push this down. You don't need to worry about that front section so much, but it does need to be inside of the mag in order to start sliding this on. And then obviously push that pin down onto the surface to get it forward. That pin is now in this cutout section back here, and so it is stuck in there. So what you'll want to do is push down on the back here a little bit, or into the hole a little bit, in order to get that to go down underneath, and then push the plate rearward. There we go. This one locked in right away. If you look in there, you can see that pin sticking up in there. They don't always go in that easy either, so to remove it, push that in, and then it's having trouble in there, push that all the way back. This time it did not pop into place. You just heard it click into place, so that's nice and tight. But if it doesn't want to go into place, sometimes you do need to kind of push it down lightly and work it around so that it goes into place. Sometimes smacking it will allow it to settle into place as well. This one with that pin, usually it's not a motion of back and forth. Usually it's just kind of, working it around a little bit in order to pop into place. This one is also going in nicely. So they're not always that easy. If you do have some trouble, just kind of work it around a little bit to try to get it to pop into place properly. The low profile plate will sit tighter in there so that it's a nice low profile as far as printing wise, because the magwell does stick up a little bit. The difference in printing between the low profile or the mid profile is very minimal. It's really not noticeable. The mid profile is actually the same size as our +2. So if you are deciding between the mid pro and +2 size wise, I do recommend going with the +2. That way you have 2 extra rounds. But if you do like the low profile look better, that is a nice option. They're very popular. People do like that low profile look. I prefer just a little bit more with the +2 on it. But if you don't need extra capacity or can't have extra capacity, that mid profile and low profile look great on there. This is the Kraken full serrations design with our enforcer porting. And this is the Poseidon design, also with our enforcer porting on a 5-inch. This is a compact frame, but this is a 4 1/4 inch upper receiver on it, so slide and barrel from the 4 1/4. Nice thing about the compact is you can go with the 4-inch, or you can even throw on the 5-inch or the 4 1/4 and still use the same frame. Same thing with the full size, you can put that 4-inch onto there with no issues. So yeah, that is the install for the mid-pro and low profile plates.